Hello, and for those of you new to joining me, my name is Shannon Windsor, and today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that I get asked a lot of questions about when it comes to nutrition, and that is organic versus non-organic, GMO versus non-GMO, and when it comes to eggs, cage-free versus free-range versus natural versus certified organic, and what is the difference between all of them? So we're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to create a separate video on glyphosate, which goes in this category, but is going to need its own video to talk specifically about that. So let's get into these other topics and start with what is organic? What is the definition? What does that mean? So organic is a labeling term that's found on products that have been produced using cultural, biological, and mechanical practices that support the cycling of on-farmer resources, promoting ecological balance and biodiversity. So in order to make an organic claim or have the USDA certified organic seal, the final product must follow strict production, handling, and labeling standards and go through the organic certification process. So I'll leave you the link to be able to look at that organic certification process because it can be fairly extensive. So the standards address, though, a variety of factors such as soil quality, animal raising practices, as well as pest and weed control. So synthetic fertilizers, sewage sludge, irradiation, and genetic engineering may not be used at all. Organic producers rely on things like natural substances, physical, mechanical, or biological-based farming methods to use to their fullest extent. So organic produce must be grown on soil that has had no prohibited substances. Most synthetic fertilizers and pesticides are included in that and cannot be applied within 3 years prior to harvesting. And they do test the soil. So as for organic meats, this standard requires that animals are raised in living conditions that accommodate their natural behaviors. They're fed organic feed and they are not administered any antibiotics or hormones. So when it comes to the organic labeling, there are distinct categories for organic products. There's 100% organic, made with organic ingredients, and specific organic ingredients. So in the 100% organic category, products must be made of 100% certified organic ingredients, as I'm sure you guessed. The label must include the name of the certifying agent and may include the USDA organic certified seal. There's also the organic category, which can have organic foods and have that certified label, and it is between 94 to 100% of organic ingredients. Then there's the category that is the multi-ingredient product where they say made with organic foods, right? Made with organic ingredients. You see that one. So that category must be at least 70% certified organic ingredients. And the organic seal cannot be used on this product. And the final product also cannot be represented as organic. So organic foods overall really must be free of synthetic chemicals. And so this really starts at the ground level when a farmer prepares his field. So they cannot use any petroleum-based fertilizers or any chemically altered materials in their soil. Manure and compost are acceptable products, but things like Miracle-Gro are not acceptable. So chemicals are also not allowed for any sort of pest or disease control. A farmer can treat their crops with insecticidal soaps, but they cannot use any store-bought sprays unless they are certified organic. Okay, let's tap into GMO versus non-GMO. So what is GMO? a GMO is a genetically modified organism. That is what GMO stands for. And it is any plant, animal, microorganism, or organism whose genetic makeup has been modified in a lab using genetic engineering. So GMO food products are most often created to be resistant to pests via herbicides and pesticides that may help farmers prevent crop loss. So if farmers are using GMO products like GMO crops, if they're creating GMO crops, it's likely that they are using herbicides and or pesticides on their crops, as that's what those type of crops are really designed for, right? Is to prevent the crop loss by being resistant to those pests, to those herbicides that are often used, right? So while there are some plus sides for sure to ensuring that you're choosing non-GMO products, non-GMO products don't have nearly as many standards as organic products and can still end up containing a lot of harmful ingredients like artificial colors, antibiotics, pesticides, and more. So the key takeaways that I want to let you know between non-GMO versus organic are that non-GMOs restrict the use of GMOs, but they still allow for pesticides and other chemicals, right? Organic products are also non-GMO, but they are also pesticide-free, herbicide-free, antibiotic-free, and more. A few of those other things that we listed in there, right? Organic products tend to be more environmentally friendly than non-GMO products. Not necessarily more nutritious though, but they have some of the other takeaways we just talked about. So organic food can't be genetically altered in any way. And traditionally, changes to plants and livestock were accomplished through selective breeding techniques and hand pollination. And these techniques are still certified organic. Whereas genetically modified foods, or GMs, have been tampered with at the genetic level. Organic food cannot come into contact even at all with inorganic foods, which is interesting. So in order to ensure that the pesticides or other chemical treatments don't rub off on any of the organic produce, it must be packaged and shipped separately from any of the conventional food. And then animals that are fed exclusively on organic products, such as free-range chickens or grass-fed beef, are generally believed to be treated more humanely, right? Although it's not always the case, it's often the case, I suppose you could say. The bottom line is that not all GMO products are organic, but all organic products are non-GMO, right? Okay. So now that we're past that phase, I hope that created some clarity, because I know sometimes when you don't know the different guidelines, it can seem a bit cloudy. So now we're going to move into and talk about what is the difference between eggs labeled cage-free, free-range, natural, and certified organic. So when we speak of cage-free, that's simply referring to the eggs laid by chickens that are not caged. But this does not mean that the chickens have access to the outdoors or adequate space to live, like we might initially think. It just means that they are not in a cage. Whereas free-range chickens, they do have access to the outdoors, but their access may be restricted and they don't necessarily have to have a pasture, right? So when it comes to natural is only referring to eggs that are not treated with any artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And it means that the eggs were minimally processed. Cage-free, free-range, and natural eggs are not third-party verified either, right? So certified organic eggs are from chickens, though, that are fed organic feed and that meets the chicken's nutritional requirements and are raised without genetic modification without growth hormones, and without antibiotics. The chickens must have access to the outdoors, shade, shelter. They must be able to move, have exercise, and fresh air and sunlight appropriate for this species. The stage of production, the climate, and the environment are all included as well. So essentially, when I'm looking for eggs, that's something that I keep in mind, that it's, as long as they're saying organic, I really like that feature. And then I'm happy to see other things on the labels, such as cage-free. So keep in mind that even if a producer is certified organic, the use of the USDA organic label is voluntary, right? So, and at the same time, when you're looking at supporting local produce, if you know your local farmers, if you can talk to your local farmers and ask them what they're putting on their foods, that's really important too, because not everybody is going to go through the rigorous process of becoming certified, right? Especially our smaller farming operations. So I hope overall that gives some clarity and helps to shine some light on what those different things mean when it comes to organic versus not organic, and GMO versus non-GMO. And then of course, when it comes to eggs, I know that is a question. Those are all questions that I get frequently. So I hope that helps you with those questions. And of course, feel free to reach out to me anytime. We'll chat soon, guys.